This is everything you need to know for 8th grade math, part 1. So we're going to start by talking about squares and square roots. So whenever we see a number that's raised to the power of 2, we can just say that that is 2 squared. And all that means is that we're multiplying the number by itself. So 2 squared is the same thing as saying 2 times 2, which is obviously equal to 4. The next one is 4 squared. So once again, we're just multiplying by itself. So 4 times 4, and that would be equal to positive 16. Okay, so now let's look at a couple of different examples. So let's say that we have inside parentheses negative 2 squared. Well, that means that we're doing negative 2 times negative 2. And we know that negative times negative equals a positive. So this would be equal to positive 4. Okay, but in this second example, notice that we don't have parentheses this time, and so we have to follow order of operations. So that means negative 2 squared in this case is actually equal to 2 squared, or 2 times 2, which is 4. Then we apply that negative sign, which is basically like multiplying by negative 1. Okay, so in this case, it's equal to negative 4. So that's how you square a number. Now let's talk about square roots. Okay, so that's this symbol that we're seeing right here. And so anytime you see a square root sign, you just want to find the number that you can multiply by itself to get to the number inside the square root bar. Okay, so the square root of 16 would be 4, because 4 times 4 is equal to 16. Now it would also be negative 4, because negative 4 times negative 4 is also 16. Okay, so whenever we take the square root of something, we always get 2 answers. But sometimes in questions, they only want to know one of these answers, and that's going to be the positive version. And so the positive version of a square root is actually known as the principal square root. Okay? So just know that the positive version of a square root is called the principal square root, and don't forget that you also get a negative version of that too, okay? So what would be the square root of 4? Well, what times itself equals 4? So we can do 2 times 2 to get 4. So I'm going to say the square root of 4 is 2. Positive 2 would be the principal square root. And then we could also have negative 2, because negative 2 times negative 2 is equal to positive 4. So that's just a really quick introduction into squares and square roots. And that might have been a little bit of a review, but it's still good to go over just to make sure you got it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more of these videos, go ahead and follow this account, like this video, and leave a comment. That way my future videos show up in your For You page. We'll see you next time.